Welcome to Faithful Organizers. My name is Sangeeta, and I'm so happy to be interviewing Candy Speight. She is from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and
Mhm.
her business is called Order Your Steps. And she is also our organizer of the month for February, and she's written us a blog, What Does an Organized Life Look Like? And thank you so much for sharing your blog, Candy. I am so happy to have you here. And
Well, th-
just off the bat, I need to know, how was it like growing up with the name Candy all your life?
oh, well, thank you so much for the invitation, and I feel honored that I've been able to contribute to the faithful organizers, and that my blog has been highlighted, I guess, for the month of February. It's interesting. For the first few years of my life, I was raised by my aunt. And so my aunt said, the story, as the story goes, when she first saw me, she says, "Oh my gosh, isn't she sweet as candy?" And although my birth mother had wanted to name me something else, Candy stuck. And that's what I've been legally for all my life. So it's been interesting how that name just went forth, because I didn't even know, what my real birth name was until I was like in elementary school. So
Oh, what was
Candy
your real
is,
birth name?
it was Martha Marion.
Look at that, Martha
At
Marion.
Martha Marion, and come to find out that um, Martha was my birth mother's stepmother. So she had named me after, her mother, and I think one of the grandmothers on her side. And I didn't even realize that until I researched it recently to find out that that was the origin, how my name originated. And so when I got to first grade, and there was like, they did the roll, and it's like Martha, and it's like, I didn't, I didn't ask, I didn't even know who that was. And so they went on to say Martha Huddleston. Is like, oh, they're talking to me. So
Wow.
when I was legally adopted by my stepmother, Candy was what I was able to become legally, and that's what I was always known by and what I was always called. So
Well,
here
it's
I
nice
am.
to have you. You are a sweet blessing to us today.
Well, thank you.
I enjoyed reading your blog, What an Organized Life Looks Like. And one thing that stuck out is it's not always how the situation looks, it is how we look at the situation. And we're
Absolutely.
not going to talk too much about it because I want our readers to go and read it for themselves. But
Okay.
you mentioned how we all want change, but sometimes we're not willing to do things differently, right? And I love
Absolutely.
how you gave some practicals. So those are great things to look forward to, listeners. If you could go check it out on faithfulorganizers.com. But in the interim, we want to get to know you a little better, Candy. And how long have you been doing your business, and why did you start your business?
Interesting story. I started in 2011, and shortly before I started my business, I kind of asked the Lord to give me something else to do. I had been in corporate America. I was in customer service. Job was stressful. I didn't plan appropriately for retirement as some. So I just figured I would just be with Xerox forever. And I asked the Lord to give me something else to do. Now, what's interesting is I told him it didn't have to be easy, and you have to kind of be careful what you say. And
Yes.
so I put that on there, so I had to live with it. But shortly thereafter, I saw the merchandiser, and on the merchandiser, it said declutter. And I was like, oh my God, you can actually do this for a living? I never knew. I mean, I've been an organizer all my life. Um, but the fact that I could do it for a living, it kind of amazed me. So I called the organizer, and she says, "Oh yes, there's a national organization, and I've been doing this for 10 years." And I was just totally amazed. But again, the Lord was already ordering my steps.
Mm.
So a few years later, Xerox offers like a early out for people to retire early, and at the time I was 55. And so it was like, Oh, great. And the Lord just moved myself right on out. That was in 2011. By 2012, Order Your Steps was born.
Ooh,
And it's just been an amazing journey. I've never looked back. I just never, when you ask the Lord to do something, He does it in a way that you can't even imagine.
yeah,
And so here I am.
that's great. How I everything it looks like your business was rooted in godly foundations, you know? And how
Absolutely.
has that impacted your business throughout the years?
Well, for to be honest, I've always seen Order Your Steps as not only a business but a ministry.
Yes.
And the Lord allowed organizing, something that He'd given me as a natural gift, a natural talent, to open doors to homes that I would have never been able to go into. I would have never been exposed to the different kinds of people, different cultures, different religious, different races, what have you. And He just used Order Your Steps to open those doors. Organizing, to be organized, it's not solely about your stuff, it's about your life. And what I found as I went into the various homes, somewhere along the line, life had happened. It presented disorder to their lives, and yet, and in addition, disorder in their spaces. And so that's really how the Lord just orchestrated it from the very beginning that this would be my opportunity to speak into the lives of people,
Mm,
and to show His light through me.
that's right. That's amazing. And I think a lot of our members at Faithful Organizers can relate with that and how this is a ministry and how what a blessing it is for those who do hire us, I believe, because not just because we're patting ourselves on the back, but how you are able to speak life into their lives. And
Absolutely.
whether they're receptive or not, we're leaving spaces with godly footprints. And it's a blessing in disguise. And I think it's amazing how God uses our talents and allows us to use this in our business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm going to ask you about your favorite tip throughout those last 13 years that you've practiced organizing. Is there one thing in particular you love to do that you want to share with us?
Well, in all honesty, I love it all. I mean, organizing is truly my passion. I say that honestly because and a lot, and I'm sure the clients is like, you really like doing this? And it's like, yeah, I really like doing this. But one of my biggest tips to my clients is number one, give yourself grace. This didn't just happen. And so it's going to take time to resolve it. And with that, don't try to eat the elephant. You have to take it one bite at a time. And I also suggest to my clients to do it in small increments of time. When you spend hours and hours, you get frustrated. You don't see the progress that you want to make. And so then you stop. But if you took 20 minutes at a time, little, you'll be amazed at how much you get accomplished in sort of short period of time. And with that, you want to stay focused on one particular area. Many times they want to go from the bathroom to the kitchen to the bedroom. And so they lose focus. They don't do a lot in any of the rooms. And so now they're still frustrated. So to summarize, it's don't eat the elephant, take it one bite at a time, and use small bits of time focusing on one area at a time.
That's awesome. We got more than one special tip. We got three, four of them. So much, Candy. Thanks for taking the time out to just, speak with us. And I pray that you have a blessed day. And for our listeners, check out faithfulorganizers.com. Also look out for her blog and enjoy reading that and be blessed. Hope you have a wonderful, continued, new, happy year.
Thank you. You do the same. And again, thank you for the
Oh,
opportunity.
you're welcome. Take care.